Going on, people? How are my little moon children? My mystic misfit minions? How is everybody? What am I missing? How's this Saturday treating you? Well? Not well? We will see. I don't often do random live streams, so I figured I'd try it out. I was experiencing boredom, and I figured instead of putting on another spaghetti western, I would pollute your guys' day with my voice. We'll see how it goes. You know, we'll see how it goes. We got Rich in the chat. Rich GT350R. Howdy, Rich. Unfinished projects in the house. He's like, what's going on, man? Not much, Rich. Just chilling over here, hanging out in the truck. And I was about to run some errands, and I was like, hell, you know what I mean? Why not stop for a second, talk to folks, see how everybody's doing. You know, it's not the middle of the night on Sunday, but still here. Unfinished. What's going on, dude? Don't you have cats to take care of? Hay to bale? I know you don't have beauty sleep for a couple more hours. Richard Sanders, the local pest. I'm right with you, man. I'm right with you. That might be me, Unfinished. No, nothing bothering me, man. At least not that I know of. There's a lot of people out here, but that's kind of just a California thing. Sand Mountain Ballistics popped in saying, hey, Ari, out with my grandma to pick up some food, and I'll pop in when I make it back. Right on, man. I might still be here. Just hanging out. Yeah. 25 miles per hour indeed. Gary Dryden's in the chat. Howdy, Gary. Saying, hey, Ari, salute you. Hope you've been well. Been doing well, man. Just hanging out over here. Nothing crazy. I've been buzzing this truck around. Hubie's in the chat saying, is this the new Saturday routine? I mean, it very well could be, Hubie. I don't know. I was experiencing boredom, so I figured I'd pop in for a second here. And I was sitting in the truck. You know, one thing you got to love is when you've got an entire parking lot full of open spaces and someone picks right next to you to park. I sure do appreciate that. How are you doing, Gary? Anything cool happen? Dougster's in the chat saying, have no fear, the Dougster is here. Taking a break from working on the shop truck frame, the cab has left the building. Yeah, he was working on his frame. He had it all primered up. Some of it was black. Some of it had the rusty metal primer on it, but it was looking good. Hubie's Garage is saying, that's Cali for you. Yeah, it's pretty great. Gotta love this place. I start to feel like I'm on display or something. Mexican Spec is in the chat. Howdy, brother. How are you? Yeah, it was just a boring Saturday. I was over here. I was watching spaghetti westerns and kind of just cleaning up. I was going to run a couple errands, and I was like, well, you know, I got a little bit of battery and not much to do. I'll see if anybody wants to hang out and talk for a second. Not much to it there. Mexican Spec. No, I don't work on Saturday, Mexican Spec. Gary Dryden saying, to all your car folk, I got a cam question. Should I go street cams or a more aggressive cam? Yeah, these are the people to ask, Gary. I've never. Well, I guess the only custom cam I've done was in the Slant 6, and I haven't even broken that engine in yet, so I don't have much to offer there. But Gary's saying I've been good. Got another promotion, so I'm management now. Nice, man. Another promotion's good. Another promotion's pretty solid. And Mexican Spec saying, what is it with this laziness? Gary saying it's in a 2.5 QR Nissan. Oh yeah, I'm sure. I don't think we got any Nissan techs in the chat, that's for sure. Rich is saying it depends on what you're looking for in a street car. Unfinished is saying just don't go full retard. No such luck. This guy don't move soon. I'm going to have to idle the truck until he starts to taste gasoline. Beaner from Yuma's in the chat saying, hello from Arizona. Welcome. Gotta love Yuma. That's down there, man. You got the sand dunes and everything else. Welcome to the chat. Paint Namer's in the chat saying, I see random and I click. Yeah, I mean, I didn't have any purpose or nothing. I was just sitting in the truck. I'm like, I want to talk to my folks, So I figured it was a good time. I've been meaning to do a live stream during the week, but I just haven't really gotten a chance. I was going to do one Monday night, but Cousin Mike does his Monday night, and that's more important. And yeah, I haven't gotten to it. I was a little bit busy. Hubie's Garage is nursing a headache with all that chem dip. Yeah, he's been living in the Berrymans. I can imagine that'll do it. Probably a sinus thing too, so it's like you don't really have the right headache medicine. Kerry Dryden saying, I'm just looking for an 80% increase in power. It makes 179 horsepower and 175 pounds of torque. Just only 80%. Beaner from Yuma saying, you commented on my post. That's how I found out about your channel. Oh, that's right. That's right. It's like the greatest name. I was like, yes. Yes, that's right. I forget which short it was, but I know it was something cool. Unfinished Project saying, I'm on my way to an auction to pick up another engine stand. I tried for a welding table, but it went for $1,000. Jeez. Yeah, the welding tables are real expensive nowadays, and then the actual fabrication tables are just like out, like completely through the roof. Mopars, Mustangs, and minivans saying, where are we headed, boss? Nowhere right now, man. I'm just sitting in the truck. I was cruising. Was gonna run some errands. I got a couple things to return, and I was gonna just probably grab a couple things from the store. Nothing to it. Rich is saying that's an expensive welding table. Must have been a platen table. Nathan's Mopar Garage is in the chat. The Food Nerd is in the chat. Hi, Mom. Yeah, I know, like the welding table we picked up last when I was at the shop was huge. It was like 5 feet, 5 by 8 or 5 by, it was a huge table. And it was pretty great. I was kind of jealous of that thing. I think what he paid for it, the Wilton vise that was on the table was probably worth more than what he paid for the welding table. So that'll offer you some perspective. He got a good price on it. Barrow's Garage is in the chat. Howdy, Brother Bear. Brother Bear, I'm missing the Saturday pickup, man. And the Sunday pickup's great too, though. Barrow's Garage. I had to actually reference your video when you're talking about small block Chevy casting numbers, because my buddy has one of those 010 blocks, and we're sitting there kind of just like, is it a 327? Is it a 350? Is it a 302? Is it what is this thing? Gary Dryden saying bottom end is apparently already forged stock, but looking to make fast but cheapest way to make power. Is there any new old stock or cams? Not sure I want to go forced induction. Well, the forced induction really is the easy way. A couple pounds of boost will, probably set her off, especially if everything's forged. There's almost no reason not to. Yeah, Rich has got a great point there. He said if you want to buy a nice welding table, you have to buy something 5/8 or thicker. Exactly. Yeah, because, if you're going to be beating on the thing, it's just not really... Yeah, 5/8 is perfect. I really liked having that big of a table, you know what I mean? I threw together that Ford 9-inch on the table and did all the assembly just up top and then dropped it, or put it up into the Camaro afterwards. I like having that kind of space, rarely do you ever have that much workspace. Most people ruin it by setting a bunch of crap on the table. Hubie's Garage is saying, I'm really dragging without the Barrows Saturday pickups. Barrows Garage is saying, yeah, it could be anything, especially if someone else has worked on those 010 blocks. It's so funny because my buddy bought that. It was like a 64 GMC pickup, but it was like a pile of parts. It was a short bed, step side pickup, and it had one side of the bed, and I ended up putting a flatbed on it. But that engine, we always thought it was a 350, and then he ran the casting numbers, or he looked up the casting numbers later on. He's like, I think it's actually a 327. No matter what it was, that thing was healthy. They would smoke my buddy's 350, and it was real healthy. Unfinished is driving right now, so just be listening in. Right on, man. Be safe out there. Gonna end up running over a bottle of Black Velvet in the road over there. Hubie's Garage is saying the Wilton Vices are ridiculously expensive. They are. I got that brand new Craftsman if you want it, Hubie. You know how much I'm always trying to give you something over, heavy. Whatever's gonna herniate Hubie, I try to give him. My fat cat included. Mopars, Mustangs, and minivans saying, slap that like button. Thanks, brother. How's it going up there, Damien? Have you been messing with that dart? I know you were doing your suspension last I talked to you, I believe. Rich GT350 is saying, go to a surplus metal dealer to get a nice plate. That's a good route for sure. Just, I don't know. You look on, Craigslist or whatever, you'll usually find something. Somebody's closing shop or trying to clear some space, and you can find something. I'm too lazy to fabricate things, Rich. Barrows Garage is saying, stoplight to stoplight, those little large Journal 327s will walk at 350. But after that, the 350 will power them out. Exactly. And my buddy never understood, because his 350 was pretty stout, you know what I mean? And trick flow heads, everything else, real nice air gap intake. He always assumed it was a carburetor thing, but it wasn't. But that 010 block has been sitting there for a few years, and I know my buddy's going to do something with it. I think he's going to put it in his 66 C20 and pull the 327 that's out of that. It's a blue 327. And probably work on that one on the stand, I think is what he's going to do. Mopar, Mustangs, and minivans saying, finally getting the rotor on the driver's side. You're saying, I'll tell you what, this front end disc conversion has been quite the treat. I could imagine, man. But those A-bodies, everything's kind of funky. Here, it's not... They're cheap, they're easy to deal with for the most part, but if you really want to change anything, it becomes a handful. Even if you know what you're doing getting in there. Landon Custom Classics is in the chat. Howdy, Mike. I was just messing with Mike. I said, how the hell am I going to have 1 million more views than you, and you got twice the subscribers as me? I was like, I got to do some self-reflection. I think that says more about Ari than YouTube. Rich is saying, local surplus dealer. I have a local surplus dealer close by. I'm a kid in a candy store. Oh, yeah, it's hard in there. You start to think about all the stuff you can put together and everything. I'm always kind of bummed out about that. Every time I'm welding something, it's always for purpose. I've always just wanted to kind of get some stuff and mess around, do some assemblage art, stuff like that. But Barrows is saying, came into the shop to get my gloves, and Ari was talking. Yeah, man, I'm just hanging out. There's nothing to it, man. Nothing to it. It was a lazy Saturday. Like I said, I was about to start my errands, and I figured I could, kill a quick hour or something, 30 minutes, an hour or something, just talking to you guys. So I thought that'd be kind of cool. Mike says, because people love me, I'm not an ugly chud. Cannibalistic humanoid underground dweller. Yeah, you did text that back. Yes. I need to find myself a new hub/drum assembly for the 64 Dart, because I gave one to @0 because he was driving around on a cracked drum, and he drives a lot of miles. So I figured it was kind of irresponsible to let him keep driving while I had the parts he needed sitting in storage. Miss Olive Drab's in the chat. Howdy, Olive. How are you? Cousin Mike saying, I'm feeding horses, then helping Bear Rose with his roof. What's going on with his roof? What's going on with your roof, Brother Bear? Opars, Mustangs, and minivans. I have two drums, and I have two drums I'm not using anymore. What size? I forget the tiny ones, the tiny early A-body drums. I forget what the measurement is. You guys, the real star of the show, next to me here. Olive's saying, not bad, feeling a bit bummed out, but no biggie. Well, Olive, my face has that effect on people. It really does. Hubie's Garage is saying, this is a big turnout for Saturday afternoon. I figured everybody be hanging out. Normally, Brother Bear's doing his pickup, or, there's something going on, so. I figured people would be wanting to hang out, talk just a little bit. I probably won't stay on for my full. Olive saying, hey, I'm hoping you guys will cheer me up. Yeah, what's going down, Olive? You all right? What's happening down yonder? I'm just sitting in this truck, being a loser, same as ever. Beautiful truck. Let's hear her sing. That exhaust leak is really bugging me. It's off a crack in one of the studs coming off of the exhaust manifold, connecting it to the exhaust. So there's not much I can do about it, except for get a new manifold, which seems kind of dumb. So it's like almost we'll just probably deal with the exhaust leak until I get headers. I don't know. Yeah, Brother Barry's saying to move the pickup to Sunday so the wife and I can actually have a weekend now. Yeah, I figured that much, man. That's what she was saying. She's like, how can you guys maintain a relationship when you guys are streaming all weekend? All I'm saying, various about the world things, and oh, not the mop dogs. I'm sorry about that, Olive. They don't last forever, I guess. You be saying we got some misty rain. Barrow's Garage is saying sounds like header time. Exactly. You know what I mean? Why waste time? Unless I could find a manifold for like 20 bucks or something. Shell is in the chat saying, hey, Ari, welcome, Shell. How are you? Mexican Spec is back. Yeah, Olive, it's the same exhaust leak. I thought it was a leak off the weld, and then I thought it was the donut. But then I realized that one of the studs, just the 3 studs off the bottom of the ram horn, had a crack in it that had been welded. And you know how those welds stick on cast iron? They don't really stick at all. Hubie's Garage is saying live with it till you get headers. Yeah, pretty much. Make sure I got live chat on, not top chat. Actually, really annoying mop dog, but it's making the elderly lady here sad, so I got a feel for her. Yeah, it's no good. Mopar Man 1978 in the chat. Howdy, Mopar Man. I don't know about the white noise, Mexican Spec. It's pretty... You can hear it. It gets kind of annoying. Shell's enjoying the cool day. At least it didn't diesel on me that time. She's been getting, with all the heat lately in the freeway driving, I've been getting some dieseling when I shut her off after a kind of heavier run. But that's probably just that Quadrajet and my rebuild that I did on it. Mexican Spec is saying white noise is something you hear all the time and get used to. Like crickets. Yes, yes, yes. That's not, you know, that's more like, that's not the white noise. I don't know. It's just so annoying because everything else is running real smooth and then you got this clack of the exhaust leak. But, you know, I mean, I guess mosquitoes. I will get you. Yeah. Rich is saying you can always drill out the steel studs. Yeah, it's around right around the flange, Rich, that that actually holds damn mosquitoes out for blood. Literally, is out for blood. We go Liam Neeson on this thing. Son of a bitch. I sure do hate mosquitoes. Yeah, it's right off the flange. Son of a bitch. Kill it with a moon pie. Oh, there's a moth in here? There's a moth under the moon pies. Not even kidding. There was totally a moth under the moon pie. This truck has got its own thing. It's just not. Bye, moth. Yeah, right on the flange, and then He's just saying I have a video of you with the other woman, the 61 Apache. Hubie, the truck got jealous about that. I ran out of gas right there on Bolsa, Chica and Bolsa. It was a little embarrassing because there's no emergency lane or nothing, so I had to throw some gas in her and let traffic flow around me. Shell saying I would go cruising if I had a Hemi Cuda. Hemi Cuda would be rad. All I'm saying is that moon pie undergoing an experiment. This one's kind of lost its luster. It's losing its magic. After the sun starts to melt through the chocolate, they lose their magic. Yeah, Hubie, I saw you recording. I was stoked on that. I was working on Hubie's neighbor's 61 Apache, just some basic stuff, and I was able to get it running. And that is such a nice truck. You know, the owner passed, rest in peace, probably a very fine gentleman. He took very good care of his truck, and you could feel it. It was real smooth. The brakes were great. I mean, it just fired right up. I did a little fuel pump change. I changed threw a filter. I always throw a filter before my fuel pump. Everyone has them before the carb. I like them right before the fuel pump. I don't know if it's stupid, but I've just done it that way out of paranoia. And yeah, just threw the fuel pump on it, replaced the rubber lines, and threw some gas in the Edelbrock. and it fired right up. And I moved it a little bit, and it stalled initially, but I gave it a tiny, like I think, tiny little turn on the idle screw, and she was fine. So it was a sweet truck. It was kind of nice just to drive it around, and the owner, it was her father's truck, so she's very, very emotional, very happy about the truck running, and that was rewarding as hell for me. You know what I mean? That's that kind of stuff's why I do this. You know what I mean? Just messing around with old cars and stuff. It's for the nostalgia of it. You know, it's not like I can make anything go fast, so you know, I got to take what I can get. Shell's saying that's my dream car. That's a great dream car. I like the Cuda and Phantasm. I think it was a 340 car, but that thing was sweet. Rich is saying just don't go hard in studs. Ask me how I know. Opar Man's saying you need a bumper sticker. I break for moon pies. You know, the Moon Pie Company, they actually have really cool merch. They have like trucker hats. They got sweaters. I've been tempted to buy something, but all is saying I had some of a moon pie recently, way too sugar bomb, but very banana. Yeah, they're sweet. I like to have them with black coffee just to kind of even it out, the bitterness and then the super sweet. Mexican spec, yeah, there was totally a Cuda in Phantasm. I don't know which year it was. I lose track. I think it was a 71, 70. I think it might have been a 70. Hubie's Garage is talking about the Apache, saying it's a cool Apache. It has a Target Master 350 with a Turbo 400 and a Gear Vendor's overdrive on it. Yeah, I mean, I putted it around. I don't think I got it up past maybe 45 miles an hour or so, but it felt great. Maybe it'll develop some weird driveline vibration after 60, but I really doubt it. Everything was the polar opposite of this truck, because this truck no one had touched. Everyone was like, don't maintain this. So when I got into it, I had to do the brakes, I had to do the clutch, all kinds of wiring. You know what I mean? I kind of lose track of it, I guess, but there was just a lot to do. And that truck, not so much. Someone had taken the time, maintained it, you know, done the stuff that I now refuse to do. Yeah, Mexican Spec. That was a movie with the hearse and the tall man. Boy! Mexican Spec. You guys are agreeing. You guys are talking. All of saying I like the fancier Challenger interior. Rich is saying, here's a test for all you welders. Find a B7 stud and a steel plate. Weld your butt off, grab an 8-ounce ball peen hammer, and give it a little slap. Oh, it doesn't want to stick, huh? UB's Garage is saying, the one that talks about the Phantasm movie is Mark Warman from Graveyard Cards. He built a black-on-black Cuda tribute car from that movie. Even has the hearse. That's badass. I like those movies a bunch just because they were so weird. They were like, they got this like sci-fi interdimensional thing to them, and then the classic, you know, 80s horror. I guess 70s. I don't know. I think they made the first one was in the 70s. I'm not sure. But I really love those movies. Mexican Spec saying, I know Phantasm because my buddy rented the hearse to the production and got it back quite damaged. I didn't notice a Cuda. Rich is saying it'll fall right off. Yeah, Rich, you know how it is welding to cast too. Unless you really take your steps with prep and, you know, preheating the oven, you know, you really got to heat the hell out of it. You know, it's hard to get MIG to stick to the cast. Well, poor man, I think you see singing. Got something going there. Yeah, I'm not much of a welder at all. I mean, I can do some decent MIG stuff. I've done tiny bit of like TIG welding, just like silicone bronze and just sticking things together. What is it, autogenously? But really, really no. Yeah, yeah. Rich is saying no MIG. I mean, it worked. I was able to because on pretty much the same issue on my 6-cylinder manifold, there's two bolt holes that come off the bottom flange there for the donut, and I had lost an ear completely, so I clearanced for a weld nut. I heated it up with a rosebud torch, and then I MIG'd in the weld nut. It actually held. Mike saying I have a rod for cast. Yeah, a few people have told me. B&R Racing told me. The guy Mike that I learned a lot of fabrication techniques from, he told me to use just a high nickel rod. But I'm always lacking in resources, so I just, use what's there. Hubie's Garage is saying movie production companies don't care about the cars they rent. They broke a window on one of my 55s and didn't pay to fix it. Jeez. I'd be so pissed if one of my classics had a broken window. I don't think I'd ever live it down. Oh, man. I'm dumb. But yeah, boring day over here. Nothing really going down. I just been sitting around. Jeez. It's always funny, because my truck's had all these whiskey dents and stuff on it probably since before I was born. So seeing people with brand new cars and they've got all this damage on them, it's like, hey, you guys must drink a lot, huh? Alva is in the chat. Howdy, Al. How are you, brother? Yeah, Rich is saying a torch to burn off the oil, then the nyrod. I need to try it, Rich. I've only done it the ghetto way, and I got decent results, but, that was just to stick that weld nut in. I don't think I could get it to seal. If I was trying to seal something, I'd probably have to go the proper route. Damn mosquitoes, man. God, filthy creatures. Get. Be the end of me. Cousin Mike saying if the exhaust manifold Barrows gave me doesn't work, I'll try welding the cracked one. Yeah, see how it goes. Elliot Lavelle is in the chat. Welcome. Yes, I am reading these. I'm sorry if it's sometimes if it's on top chat, it will skip you if you don't type a lot of messages. Yeah, Al, I still got this annoying exhaust leak off my manifold. And it's kind of a bummer just because everything else is working really well. And that's like the only noise I have. I don't really have leaks. I don't have the Quadrajet's still a bit of a bummer, but besides that, everything's working super well. And then you got this little exhaust leaks. Pretty significant. Mexican Spec saying, how about this? The same buddy sold a 61 Cadillac Miller Meteor Hertz to a production with the understanding they will restore it and sell it back when they're done for much less. Good deal. Jeez. Hubie's Garage is saying, man, that chem dip rack is around the corner in my trash can with the lid shut, and I can smell it in the house. I need to do a dumpster run. Hubie, I can take the trash for you tomorrow if you need. I'm driving the trash truck, so. Alva's saying time for headers. Yeah, one of the subscribers, you guys see him in the chat a lot, Caesar Trex. He offered me some really nice headers, and I got to probably meet up with him, have a beer or two, and take him up on that offer because they're a really nice set of headers, and it would be an upgrade. What would be real expensive though is to run the exhaust for him, I guess. Maybe I could do it myself. I don't know. After seeing Gabriel's welds the last time around, I think I might want to do it myself. Looked like he did them while he was sleeping. Olive saying, my Volvo had a horribly sun-pitted and hard-to-clean windshield. Then a branch fell through it. I was not really happy, but also like, oh no, now I have to put a new windshield in it. Elliot Lavelle saying, I want to work on a 70 Ford Mustang, but I don't have a bug to buy it. Elliot, I love those Mustangs, the Mach 1s and stuff. I worked on a 69 Mach 1, and I thought that car was too cool. I almost didn't like how much I liked it, you know what I mean? Hubie's Garage is saying the stunt driver broke my window. It was cracked prior, but he slammed the door and made it worse. What an ass. That's actually how I broke this one. It was cracked, and then I was having a fit one night. I slammed my door and learned my lesson. Rich is saying the 21 and 321 stainless is high nickel. Nice. Okay, so that's what I'm supposed to be using. Sweet. Elliot Lavelle saying, I want to buy my own car, but I don't have enough money. I feel you there. I want to work on this truck a little more, but I don't have the cash to throw at it. There's a lot to do. I mean, it runs well, stops well. I can do that much, but you know, just basic niceties, general maintenance and stuff that I've kind of been skipping for a long time. Mopar Man saying, whether you're using header gaskets or exhaust manifolds, so always make sure you spray them with copper Permatex spray on both sides. I never used the copper coat on them, but it's not a gasket thing, Mopar Man. It's a crack on the flange. My usual. Mexican Spec saying, I missed the best part of the hearse stories. Oh, saying they took a wrong turn with the hearse. Drove it over a cliff and broke the chassis in 4 places. I had history with that car. Once he and I drove it to Vegas to pick up a guy that had died to bring him back. Jeez. I guess the hearse is fine. The ambulance is the one that's got all the souls in it. Elliot Lavelle saying, my dream car is a Ford Thunderbird. I love those things. Best Gamers in the chat saying, bro, what happened in here? I don't know, man. It's my face again. That's the live stream. I'm sorry, brother. Walter the Cat is like, he's saying, do you like Skibbity Bee toilet? You know, I'm not big on the Skibbity Bee, whatever the videos. You know, that stuff kind of throws me off. I'm saying, I presently wishing I had money to throw at what my body won't do lately. Man, you know, can only do so. You gotta just do what you can, Olive. You'll be all right. Tabo Garage is in the chat. Howdy, brother. Paint Namer saying, I'm a big fan of copper spray gaskets too. Great Vibes CALOB saying, what the fuck did I just foam to with that ass look? I don't know. I want you to learn how to form a complete sentence. Come back and I'll help you with whatever you need help with. Dave Lewis is in the chat. Welcome, brother. Rich is saying, we can take that up, get creative, I'll help you. I wish, man. I could probably take it off and do something. I'm just kind of a lazy bastard, you know. Mopar Man saying, speaking of toilets, Kohler made a new one for the Kardashians. Has an extra wide toilet bowl and wide seat. Now we're talking. Shell's at work saying, if I miss a comment directed to me, please forgive me. I'm at work. Well, I'm glad you're tuning in. Just the same. I hope it's a decent shift. Tabo Garage is saying, not sure what I'm doing here. 7:30 a.m. on a Sunday. Got you early, Tabo. 162 Customizing's in the chat saying, hello, everyone. Just got in from work and out in the shop. Figured I would just listen and work. Welcome, brother. Glad to have you in the chat, man. I'm glad you agreed with me about the oil bath filter. That makes just about everybody except for Ray. Shell saying it is just waiting for drivers to get back. Work for FedEx. That's not the easiest work. Work on those truck lines is no fun sometimes. I worked for UPS for years. Years. It was a miserable Volga boat job. Absolutely miserable job. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm shaking you guys around. It's like Cloverfield. Shell saying, I work the office. Yeah. That's better. If you work like dispatching or some office work or something, it's not so bad working around shipping. But if you're unloading or loading, it tends to be kind of miserable. Tends to be pretty miserable. Yeah, I remember that. It was like when you're working in a warehouse, you don't have to worry about, communist occupation of your government, because I knew that if Russia ever came and took over, because I had warehouse experience already, they would probably keep me above ground. I wouldn't work in the mines. Make sure I'm still on live chat, not top chat. But yeah, besides that, this truck's been running pretty well. No real deep issues. She gets warm. She definitely gets warm with all the bumper-to-bumper traffic and everything else. The Poof twins are in the chat saying, oh my God, hi. Welcome. Hello. How are you? Oh man. This place is great. Rich is saying, sorry, I was beating up some people at the Dark Horse. I'm back now. Tabo's saying, I did that for 2 days in the 90s, hand unloading a 40-foot semi in an hour before moving to the next one. I quit second day. Poof Twins is saying, I love your channel. Thanks. I appreciate it. I hope it's not too boring. It's just me in the truck usually. The occasional Hubie will pop in. Stuff like that. Glad to have you, though. I forget the size of the radiator. It's a decent one, though. It's aluminum. I don't have a fan shroud, so when I'm not moving, this thing's like, hey, 200 degrees sounds great. Chris Sanders is in the chat. What's up, man? What's going on, Chris? How are you, brother? Shell saying, I deal with complaints and disputes. You must be busy then. I don't think I've ever gotten a shipment from FedEx that wasn't damaged somehow. The Poof Twins is saying, I meant my dad loves your channel. Oh, that's cool. I appreciate you, Pops. Tavo's going to make some breakfast. Yeah, Tavo, that was my job, man. I unloaded trailers for years, 53-foot trailers. 53 feet of misery. That one quiet kid is in the chat saying, hi, Ari Don't Surf. Howdy, man. Welcome. Charlie Roma's in the chat saying, I opened my phone and you're live. Alive. What's going on, Charlie? How are you, brother? I'm just hanging out over here. I was yapping at people in the truck. Was complaining about my exhaust leak, and yeah, nothing to it. And that one quiet kid saying, you're first one to notice I chatted. Yeah, of course. I always try to keep track of the chat. I mean, yeah, I'm kind of boring if I just go on talking, so I got to make sure to acknowledge the chat so I actually have something to talk about. Poof Twins is saying, my dad works for FedEx. Hopefully he just drives trucks or something, or delivers. That one quiet kid saying, I will. So appreciate you, man. Glad to have you on the channel. It's just me. I've got a 63-year-old truck. I cruise around a lot. Try to help people with their cars when I can. Nothing to it. No life-changing content here. Al's saying, do you want your exhaust loud or quiet? Hey, there's the train. It's just the Metro Link this time. It ain't the Surfliner. Mexican Spec, she's not 64 until Halloween. The Poof Twins saying, I got to go by. Thanks for stopping in, Poof Twins. We appreciate you. Al, I would kind of, I like loud exhaust. I really do. That way, if it's too smooth, I can't tell if I stalled or not. That one quiet kid saying, well, I'd love to be in one of your vids one day. Hey, if you're around, if you're in the Southern California area, I try to meet up with everybody I can. Brookie's saying, can I have a shout out? Let's give Brookie a shout out. Welcome to the chat. Glad to have you. We appreciate you. Olive saying, I like moderate exhaust. Doesn't need volume. It just needs to sound a little mean. Rich is saying, I can break your windows. Yeah, Rich has got the Mustang. It's hard to outdo the Mustangs. It's hard to outdo that. Yeah, I don't know. I like, I had that 6-cylinder straight piped forever, which kind of sucked because it just made a lot of noise and it didn't move. But still, you know what I mean? It's kind of nice just being able to hear everything going on. Maybe it's my nosiness. But that one quiet kid saying, nope, I'm not. Yeah, it's I'm in Southern California. And I've met up with a good few YouTubers. I've met up with Alva, Hubie's Garage, Brian M., a couple other folks. And everybody's real cool, so. That one quiet kid saying, I have a rusty truck and I broke my hinges once, but I fixed. Oh yeah, you gotta fix whatever. They're always breaking something. Always. Chris Sanders is saying, I need a new pair of CFI injectors for my Lincoln, but I need the bigger 52-pound HR ones. I can't find them anywhere. Geez, that's a weird one. I don't know if I can help you with that one, man. Rich is saying, I have to give notice to the neighbors. I felt so bad for Hubie's neighbor when we were breaking this thing in. He's a real nice dude, but you know what I mean? He's kind of like, He's probably, like the watercress salad type more so than the open exhaust next to my window type. Olive saying, my Duster had sawn-off bottom exit exhaust for when it had a slant. That was fine. One quiet kid saying, I like riding my motorcycle. I do not ride motorcycles. It'd be too deadly around here. Too many folks that don't have any common sense and drive like they're not very intelligent. Let's put it that way. Mopar Man saying, Ari, you can fix the... Really, Mopar Man? I can fix the crack, guys. Sorry, I'm kidding. He's saying just grind and clean up the crack, then heat the crap out of... Yeah, that's what I was saying, man. I used a rosebud torch and a MIG, but it's kind of a small crack on the flange. It's almost not worth it. Rich is saying, my gal is rowdy. You won't sleep in. Yeah, no, those Mustangs are that's serious business right there. Hubie's gasser is the best. The fender well headers and everything, it's perfect. Hubie's Garage is saying the neighbor did own a 21-foot Challenger jet boat with a 454 and a Berkeley jet. That one quiet kid saying, I don't know what to do now. That's what I was thinking, man. That's why I went live on YouTube. I was like, well, what am I going to do here? Yeah, Hubie, he had the 454, but now he's all rolled oats. All of a sudden, think about trucks. Dream about trucks, think about trucks, drive trucks, work on trucks. Listen to Butch Trucks. Hubie's Garage is saying, yes, he is an EV guy now. There's a lot of EVs in the neighborhood over there. It's kind of sad. But in the same breath, you know what I mean? It's actually, there's a lot of classics in the neighborhood as well. A lot, actually. It's a complete... I retract my previous EV comment. There's more classics than there are EVs. Mr. Foggy's in the chat. Howdy, brother. How are you? Mopar Man saying, I'm going to eventually have electric cutouts in my truck. Then on my Dart, I have... when I have the V8 in it. Nice, man. Charlie Roma saying, EV guy went to the dark side. Yeah, that stuff's sad, man. It's no good. It's no good. There's a guy that works right around here. He's got an EV Jeep, and it's... I don't know. I don't think he's a song and dance man, but just the same, you know, he got us fooled with that EV Jeep. I got Tyler, how do I say that? Gulato? Saying my mom is 20. How old are you, Tyler? It's going down. One quiet kid saying, I don't have that many subs. Me either. I was just joking around about that. Cousin Mike's got 3,400 subs with 400,000 views, and I got, you know, about 1.5 million views, and I got 1,700 subs. It's this face. What is this? A zoo? Get. 162 is asking, how you liking the V8 compared to the 6? I'm really liking it. I'm really liking it. It's just convenient. It picks up so fast. You know, I'm able to merge into traffic with without having to wrestle at all or, you know, time anything. It's different. It's definitely different. You know, the 6 was very just tame and smooth. You know what I mean? Being so heavy and so balanced, you get up to speed and it's just kind of doing its thing. But the V8's kind of rowdier. You know what I mean? There's more movement. That could be the fact that I've got that crazy front horseshoe mount on it. But just the same, it's I really like the V8. It's a very good switch. A very good switch. I love inline 6s, don't get me wrong, but as far as bang for your buck, convenience, practicality, the V8's a great... I mean, I can get the fuel pump at any auto store, $20. Water pump's $40. Parts are everywhere. You know what I mean? It's just not... It's just... For what I, you know, me, as much as I use the truck, it's a really good practical. One quiet kid saying, Ari, caps to make sure you can see this. I see you, man. I see you. Saying, hey, Ari, don't surf. Ari, don't surf. Hubie's garage saying, wedding party starting to arrive. Yes, yes. Yes, it's a shame that the parking lot isn't huge. Alva's saying, I was next to a GT350 in traffic once. Painful loud. I know what you mean. Yeah, they're up there. It's not a quiet car. Pretty serious car. You'd be lucky to have sensitive ears. I can't hear a damn thing. Can't see anything either. That one quiet kid's asking how much money you have. I think probably like $80. I don't know. Tyler Gelato is Gelato. I don't want to say it too wrong, but I know I'm not saying it right. It's a 60 Chevy Apache 10, Tyler. A 1960 Chevy Apache 10. Here, I'll show you. With a bunch of crap in it right now, but come on, camera. Work with me.
Made in 1960, a mechanical perfection. There is no truck better than this, not in existence, especially with the 3 spare tires and the Sears Silvertone record player speaker box. It is meant for speed, agility, and awesomeness. Yeah, 1960 Chevy pickup.
Chris Cadman saying, shut my bike off last night with the kill switch. Use the key. Easier than pushing. That one quiet kid saying, I already don't like this channel. Rich is saying, my cold start has 12,000 views. Rich, like I think like the first year, well, probably the first year of me doing my YouTube shorts, I kept doing these warm up videos to troll cold start videos. Tavo Garage is saying 60 Apache with a disc courtesy light. One quiet kid saying, nice, I want it. The one quiet kid saying, does it run? Yeah, it runs. It's got a gnarly exhaust leak right now, but it sure runs. And Hubie set up that distributor for me. I'm pretty sure that's why it starts up so nicely. Elliot Lavelle saying, I'm back. And I can't. John, can I make enough money to get my dream car? Some of them are expensive, man, especially nowadays. Even some of the more basic, not so desirable classic cars are expensive, you know. And then when you talk about dream cars and, you know, one-offs and, you know, specificities, they do get real expensive, man. Chris Cadman saying, is there an car with a logo RE? No, Chris, but funny enough, there was Iranian-made AMC Ramblers, and one of them was called the Aria, which is my full name. One quiet kid saying, I went to a car show at a park in Elmira. How was it, man? Was it a decent show? All I'm saying is a happy motor. We were talking headers before. I'd like some headers. I worry, you know, I mean, I might have to get some kind of like just the tube, like the block huggers, I guess you'd call them, something like that. Because I'm worried that if I get long tubes, they're going to just dump right into where the cross member is. There's a cross member for the bell housing on these 60 to 62 Chevy trucks, and I think they dump right into that, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Rich is saying all cars are expensive today. B&R Racing's in the chat. Howdy, Brian. Brian, I'm up to nothing, man. I was just about to run some errands, and I was figuring I should do some YouTubing, so I went live, and we're just yapping about the truck, yapping about different cars, whatnot. Tyler's saying, how much money would you get if you sell that truck? I mean, I couldn't sell the truck. It's kind of part of my soul. But they're worth a good bit of money. I've seen them. I mean, I've gotten offers for this truck around 12 grand, and you know, probably a lot more if I did some kooky stuff with it, like airbags or an LS swap. But I'm not really into that. To me, it's just my truck. I don't know what I would do without it, so I don't really think about it much. Buff Del Campo's in the chat. Turbo Del Campo saying, you're live. I am live, brother. Welcome. Good to see you. One quiet kid saying, a 1967 Corvette. That's a sweet car, too. Rich is saying, you think cars are expensive? Just wait until our kids have to buy a home. Rich, you're telling me, man. Around here, you can't touch anything for less than $500,000. And that's like a bungalow, crap hole house built in the 40s. All I was saying, one car I really considered buying was a Romanian Jeepy thing called an ARO. Had a Ford small block. And like maximum 80s dashboard. Looked like a graph paper. The one quiet kid saying, "Damn, bro, I can't even get 5,000 off my Lambo." Yeah, I've gotten some pretty crazy offers for this truck. One guy was pretty serious too. He's a guy from Huntington Beach, which is where I'm from, and he owns a concrete company, and he's a normal dude, but he's done really well for himself. So I knew he wasn't BSing when he made an offer, but I can't. You know what I mean? It's just like that. I can't. Mopar Man is saying, Ari, at some point here soon, I'll be doing a low budget video on how to make a flamethrower kit for your vehicle exhaust that does not interrupt your ignition. Those things are rad. I always thought it'd be cool to do that on when I had the 6-cylinder, because I wanted to do split exhaust and have it poking out the back like the lowrider style. One quiet kid saying, I need 5K. Me too, man. Go get my outer tie rod ends. Tie rod ends. I could use a couple brake drums, some shoes, flex lines, rear wheel bearings, axle seals. The list goes on. The one quiet kid saying, "What WTF, Chris?" That's exactly how I feel every time. Every time, quiet kid. That's Chris though. Chris is a great dude. He's I think he's got some form of autism. I'm not sure. He's got a very flatulent dog. I'm just kidding. I love you, Chris. Tyler's asking if I would trade cars. I doubt it. I can't see myself trading this truck for much of anything. I've been through too much with it. Chris Sanders saying, I'm about to order my pillow so I can sleep better when I drink too much and pass out in my car. Nice. You need to get the neck support pillow. Tabo Garage is saying, I need 105K. I'm right with you there, Tabo. BNR saying, quiet kid, a C2 Corvette drives like a dream just cruising. A big 1967 C2 Corvette, 427 tri-power or L88. I was head mechanic at Corvette Mike's Chicago 2 years ago. And one quiet kid saying, I love the truck and the channel. Thanks so much, man. That's all it is, you know what I mean? I was cruising this truck around so much and I kind of thought it was unique. So I started sharing videos of it and folks enjoyed it. So here we are. Abel D is in the chat. Primo Abel, how are you, brother? Rich is asking Tavo what he needs 105,000 for. Olive saying, a friend of mine came back to town after years away and was like, you're still driving the old Volvo? Like, you said, yeah, that's kind of the point of an old Volvo. Exactly. I kind of laugh about it, you know what I mean? Because I don't really have much social media at all or nothing, but it's like, anybody who knew me when I was younger, it's like, yeah, I'm still here, just putting around, driving my old truck. Haven't changed much. Still immature. Still dumb as a rock. Abel D's saying, doing good, perfect weather for wrenching. Is it cloudy up there too, man? The one quiet kid saying you have lids. All right, what is it? What's lids? Kids? Oh, kids. Like lids. Like, is that an acronym? Yeah, I got one kid. 6-year-old son. He's a little badass. Unfinished project saying it's more than a truck, you nerd. What do you mean? Tabo Garage is saying he's got a cat, don't need kids. Tabo, you still want that cat, man? I'm just kidding. I love the cat. We were hanging out. He was extra lazy today. All is saying, sorry about the type in, probably should take some Advil. No, don't worry about it, Olive. But I mean, yeah, take some Advil if it helps, of course. Don't worry about us. The one quiet kid saying, Ari, I'm badass too. Nice, man. Tavel saying, send him over. Brian saying, I had one guy go nuts over my 1997 C2500 454 pickup. When getting gas, he's saying I was getting gas. He said it's likely worth 13 being rust free. I believe it, man. That's a nice truck, and the OBS style trucks are really, really popular right now. I've always liked them just because growing up, that was the truck my uncle had. I think he had a 91, something like that. But and then another buddy's dad had the 94. I think it was a 3500 dually, and he had it lowered, 454 Vortec, just like you got. So one quiet kid saying, I'm scared. Don't be scared, man. Whew. We got Dino in the chat. Buff Del Campo saying, Tabo Garage, what do you, or he's asking, Tabo Garage, what do you think it would cost to send you a cat? More than the cat's worth, Buff. Hunter's back in the chat, Sand Mountain Ballistics. Chris Sanders saying, I got my buddy's K2500 in the driveway to work on. Need exhaust and stuff. They're nice trucks. They really are. Jason's Garage is in the chat. Howdy, brother. How you doing? Ice Spice is in the chat saying, I got a 2023 Dodge Challenger. That's got to be a lot of fun, man. I don't mess with a lot of the newer stuff, but if it's fast and it's smooth, why complain? Tyler saying, you are the best. Far from it, man. The audience is the best, though. The folks that stop into these live streams, the folks subscribe to the channel, I'm surrounded by great folks. Yourself included. Jason's Garage has been working on a truck all day. I'm pooped. I feel you there. I was working on a Hubie's neighbor's truck a little bit. I didn't even do that much work, but it was kind of a longer day, and I ended up just burning myself out. I was really feeling it by the end of the day. Ice Spice is saying, I got a Ferrari last year for my birthday. Bought the Challenger myself. That's pretty badass. I like Ferrari. It's got my name in it. Plus the whole Miami Vice thing, you know what I mean? You got to love the Ferrari. Mopar Man saying, I found a cheaper way to modify that aluminum Offenhauser air hat. Got a round piece of 1/8 inch aluminum plate and a container of U.S. forged self-fluxing aluminum rods. That'd be cool. I'll have to check that out when you do that, man. One quiet kid saying I have a Ferrari, Lamborghini, and a Challenger. Now we're talking. I can't read the Cyrillic, but they're asking you, David. No, not David. Ari. Quiet kid's out for now. He's saying, I'll see you. Thanks for stopping in, man. We appreciate you. Mopar Man saying, then I have to cut out the hole for the Carter one barrel neck. Chris Cadman saying, I own the world. Are you pondering what I'm pondering, Chris? Tabo Garage is saying, Buff needs a lot of subs in 5 days. That's right. The No Name Nationals is coming up. Huh? It's like a couple days, right? I like the idea of it, but I feel like the sub requirement to race does kind of put an unnecessary stress on some people. And then there's so many people that do meet the sub requirement that don't finish their car that it's like you'd think there'd be some balance there, but Brian saying about headers, Ari. When I was your age, headers were a must-have. Today, I think they are a must-have. 550 to 1400 horsepower, normally aspirated. Can be done today with a good high-performance exhaust manifold. Hunter's saying we got to get buffed to 500. He's a great guy. Hell yeah, he is. Ice Spice is saying my dad has a Shelby 427 Cobra. You guys got some great cars. I mean, expensive cars, but I mean that's awesome. You know what I mean? If you can, why not? You know, there's a lot of worse ways you could be spending the money. That's for sure. Chris Sanders is saying I got a Leonard Skinner album that got wet and moldy a couple years ago. I soaked it in Windex and fixed it. How'd you do that, man? I want to. Yeah, if somebody could drop Buff Del Campo's link, that would be great. Sand Mountain Ballistics, Buff saying, we will be at No Name Nationals. I hope to drive the Valiant to the event. Kim will take her van with an empty trailer in case the Valiant has trouble. I'm sorry I can't read this Cyrillic, but I'll show you it's a truck. I'll show you the truck, folks. It's a 1960 Chevy Apache 10. Get the full view of her. Yeah, try to read that license plate. And I've got a bunch of crap in the back like Sanford and Son, but that's her. Ice Spice is saying that's cool. I appreciate it. That one quiet kid saying I'm a kid. I just want 50 subs. Yeah, it's a very old truck. Very old truck. Thank you. Appreciate you stopping through. I apologize. You know what I mean. I can't read your handle there. It won't let me translate it either. But I can't read the Cyrillic. Tyler's saying I got scammed out of $500. I'm sorry to hear that. Someone got me for $100 a couple years ago on a renter's application, but that's as bad as I've ever gotten it, I don't think. Ice Spice is saying my mom has a 67 Chevy Corvette. Those are sweet cars. Buff Del Campo saying his name is Dimitri. Okay, Dimitri, thank you so much for stopping in. Buff, can you read Cyrillic or did you translate it? Buff's very worldly, so I have to ask. I don't know. Rich is saying Ice has his own car show. Yeah, they got some sweet cars over there. Some people, a lot of folks are like that. They just collect. I used to love it because in my early 20s, I worked at a really high-end bar down here, and people would come through with Lambos and McLarens and Teslas before you really saw a lot of Teslas, stuff like that. And I would park my buddy's 64 GMC pickup outside, and everybody would just pay so much attention to that pickup compared to the other cars. Buff Del Campo saying I was married to a white Russian woman for 23 years and I was in Russia back in the 90s. That's awesome, Buff. So yes, I can read it. That's really awesome, man. See, this is why I love YouTube. I'm surrounded by such cool people. Just really intelligent folks, worldly folks, people who've experienced a lot. I find it sharpening. That's awesome, Buff. Ice Spicy saying, my dad almost bought a Ford Model T. Those are sweet too. You can find all kinds of stuff for them, Ice Spice. There's a company out here, CW Moss, that reproduces most everything for those early Fords. The one quiet kid saying, I was sad that I lied that I was an adult. You don't got to be sad, man. Don't worry about it. Just enjoy yourself. He's talking about, Ryan's talking about his Trans Am. He said 4-speed has headers, hooker 4202, 2-inch primary tubes, and 3.5-inch collectors. One quiet kid saying, love the channel. Appreciate you, man. Tyler Galado saying, my friend's game for $500. I thought my friend, but he just nodded money. Oh, that sucks, man. That's no good. That's no good at all. Mopar man saying, be careful out there. Mopar man. Damn it, man. Dimitri's asking if I know Chevrolet Nova. Yeah, actually, a couple of my dad's from Iran, and when he first immigrated here to the U.S., that was the first car he bought, was a Nova. They're really cool cars. Quiet Kids out for the chat. Thanks for stopping in, man. We appreciate you. Brian saying, look at previous exhaust manifolds. Post-ass actually do a lot. Yeah, I mean, Brian, I really should have just held off, gotten some headers, and had the guy run dual exhaust instead of doing this Y pipe, because the Y pipe wasn't cheap, and he did a good job, but he kind of did a hasty job, for lack of a better way of saying. That's awesome, Buff. See, that's why I like, you meet folks from different places, you learn different things, people who've been to different places, and it's, again, sharpening. It's like it's like building a bridge between other cultures, knowledges. Soy Ellen's in the chat. Welcome. How are you? But yeah, thanks to, I don't know if you blame just the, what is it, McCarthyism or what, but I never learned anything about Russia, so that's kind of a bummer. Pretty rich in history over there. Buff Del Campo saying, I don't have a Cyrillic keyboard, so I have to cut and paste. Pain. That is a pain. Hey, but I mean, you're still doing it. That's more than I got. Mopar man saying, don't go along with the deceiving people. Mom saying, I love my Peugeot. 5-speed, nice sports tires. Tyler Gelato saying, Gelato. Sorry, I don't want to say it wrong. Sorry, I have to go. I don't want to leave. Tyler, we appreciate you stopping through. I do a live stream on Sunday nights as well. If you ever feel like coming through, we appreciate you. Everyone's welcome. And yeah, it's a good time. We appreciate you coming through, man. Thank you. Shell saying, I have a minor in Russian. That's awesome. Like I said, I never learned anything about it at all, really. I mean, I like Russian music. That's about as far as I've got. Listen, some Russian new wave and the old like the Russian Army choir and stuff. That's always great to listen to. Ryan's saying, will not, oh, sorry, you missed the first one. He's saying, what I'm really saying is exhaust manifolds often superior for daily drivers, will not rust out, plenty of ground clearance, no leakages. That's what I was going for, Brian, but of course, this ram horn has a crack on the flange, which I could probably weld, you know what I mean? But it's a small repair, small and tedious repair that I'm reluctant to do on what is essentially, a $20 ram horn. And the other set that I have laying around, these ones are just the normal ram horns that go straight down. They dump out straight down. And the other set that I have around is the ones that kind of dump backwards. So, I'm kind of reluctant to do that because I would have to alter the exhaust pipe. So, Rich is saying I have a major in Fords. You know me, Rich. I like the Fords. Until it comes time to work on them. Then I don't like the Fords. I'm just kidding. Anything, like we talked about this. Anything but Broncos. Chris Cabin's asking, last time driving in the snow. Geez, almost... well, actually, no. About a year and a half ago, I was up in the mountains here, driving through some snow, and the snow wasn't too bad. The ice was a bit much. Dean's always got something. Gulag Archipelago. I'm unenlightened. I'm gonna have to look it up. I have my pen and pad in here. Usually got a pen and pad in here. Drop my headphone. No, that's no good. Dropping things. Ah. Alva's saying, I read a page in Ayn Rand book before. In an Ayn Rand book before. Shell's saying, my major was science education. I taught physics. That's awesome, Shell. I'm like a caveman. I got a GED. Dean saying it never snows in Southern California. Dean, you get up to the mountains, it'll snow. I mean, often, people will consider some of it Central California, but, it's kind of relative. Make sure I'm not losing battery here. It won't tell me. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Balance. Tyler, you're saying my mom needs some help, but I'm back. I'm glad to have you back, man. You got to make sure to help mom. Dean's saying it's a blacklisted book, Ari. Don't do it. Rich is saying I taught trig, had fun. Trigonometry is good. That's basically what you're doing when you're setting up suspension on hot rods and stuff. It's a bit over my head, but once somebody who's done the trigonometry tells me what to do, I can get the work done. Dean's saying, try the Idiot. Oh, yeah, that's what the Iggy Pop album is named after. Tyler's saying the truck you're in right now, is that your favorite truck? Yeah, this is definitely my favorite truck. A 1960 Chevy Apache 10. It's as far as I'm concerned, the best shape of truck, the best. It's the best truck ever made. Rich is saying trick is fun, easy when it's explained correctly. Hey, Bad Tree Productions is in the house saying heathens assemble for a minute. What's going on, Blake? Cheers, brother. So stoked you guys got the Death Pumpkin together. Dimitri's saying, sorry for my stupid. Hey, no, it's, I mean, it's a second language, obviously, or not really even, it's a different language. So you're doing great, man. Glad to have you. The English is kind of one of those languages, too. It's pretty weird, comparatively. My dad can speak Farsi. I used to be able to speak it as a kid, but I can't now. Farsi, Spanish, once you get a different language in your head, you hear English and it's like, why so much? But that's also why the language is beautiful, so. Mom's saying, yeah, my mom speaks Farsi fluently, pretty fluently at least. And I think if she gets hit in the head a few times, she can probably learn how to speak Urdu. Rich is saying, I spoke Polish as a kid, not anymore. You lose it over time. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like my pops is always talking about, he's got like camcorder videos of me speaking Farsi fluently. And now, I can kind of understand what people are saying. I'll get the gist of the conversation, but I don't truly understand Farsi and I can't speak it. Tyler's saying, I have 10 cats. Nice, Tyler. I have one, but I'm going to give it to Hubie's garage. He was on the live stream earlier. He's going to take the cat. He agreed to it. Dean saying, sorry, I'm trying to do the hero worship. I always come across as annoying. Dean, you're never annoying, ever. Rich is saying, I understand it, just don't ask me to speak it. That's not an easy language either, Rich. I mean, that's some of those pronunciations and everything, and it's like Swiss German too. What they do with the vowels is like, hoo. Hubie's garage is saying, nope. Poor Hubie's getting all. Anytime I have something cumbersome or unwanted, it's like, hey, Hubie, I got a gift for you. Add zeros in the chat. Howdy, everybody. Saying, what's up, everyone? Oi, oi, oi. At zero, we were just talking about Hubie adopting the cat. Tyler's saying, unfortunately, somebody lit our fence on fire and we don't know. So my dad went down there and slept in with them with that axe. That's weird. Was it just like vandalism, or do you think someone's trying to be like malicious? 162 saying, you guys have a great one. Have to get going. Thanks so much for stopping in, 162. Always glad to have you in the chat. Always glad to hear from you, brother. Hope all is well up north. And I hope you have a great, great Saturday, brother. Check your fluids. Mopar Man saying, I just tell people to speak English when I can't understand them, whether they're American or a foreigner. Yeah, there's a lot of people who speak English that you really just can't understand. I still like my idea of doing the channel giveaway the YouTube channel giveaway of the cat and rigging it to where Hubie wins, you know, just to really put the spotlight on him more, just like the Power Glide. Rich is saying my grandmother was Lithuanian, my grandfather was Austrian. He was a challenge. Yeah. Hubie saying no cats or Power Glides. No cats or Power Glides. That's got to be a shirt, Hubie. Buff Del Campo saying Dimitri said good night and sorry for his stupid English. Said good night to him. Thanks, Buff. I appreciate it, man. We got a translator in here. I owe you a couple bucks, Buff. Some coffee, something. It's so cool having people in the chat from different places in the world, you know, even if they just pop in for a second, you know, you can get a glimpse of a different way of life, whatever. Tyler said, oh, so you had some crappy people over there, Tyler. That sucks. That's no good at all. When you have crappy folks around your property, that's no good. It's not safe, you know. Tabo's saying, worst off is short call centers where they try very hard to speak English, but they really, yeah. At Zero is saying, my Irish brother fainted at CVS. EMT thought he had a stroke. Pure racist. I'm saying Mooney. Rich is saying we did not speak English in their house. That's kind of cool. I love it because the grandma from the white side of the family, for my son's second birthday party, I had all the family out. And my Persian grandma's been here for like 40 something years and she still don't speak a lick of English. My grandma called her out for it. She says, when will you ever learn to speak English? And I was just so happy about it because she's got a point. Olive saying I may be a fraction Lithuanian according to what my sister sent away for in the mail. I want to do one of those. Chris Sanders has got to run. Thanks for stopping in, Chris. Man, you have a great Saturday. Check your fluids, brother. Buff Del Campo saying my cat doesn't have a name. Maybe I'll name her Power Glide. That's actually a great name for a cat. A cat named Power Glide. The Hubie story. Abel saying I'm from the country of California and the city of Mr. Spanky is mayor. Hubie's Garage is saying it's like going to a party and giving a kitten to the host as a gift. Eventually you stop getting invited to parties. My dad almost was a good present. Rich is saying, not as easy as you may think growing up with English and staying with my grandparents. Yeah. Olive saying, I had a rat named Skid once. He was like a drift rat. Dean saying, my dad fell over playing pool at the bowling club. His mate put his shoe into his chest and said, hey, Trev, you've had too much piss. No, not responding. Get Trev an ambulance. Techno's in the chat. You'd be saying like the name Steve Martin gave his dog and a jerk. Mohawk62 is in the chat saying, hey, hello everyone. Just stopped by for a minute. Hey, all right. Howdy, brother. How are you, man? Thanks for stopping in. I'll probably Cut this live stream off in a second here. I'm low battery on this phone. I can't read the Cyrillic, but hello and welcome to the chat. Buff, I need you to translate again, man. Shell's saying only 2 drivers out. Yes. Makes your life easier or what? Sorry, but Buff was saying this cat just showed up. I was putting food scraps outside for the possums. The cat stayed here. I started giving her cat food, so now she's here. That's cool, Buff. It's cool you're taking care of the possums, too. A lot of people don't like possums. I like possums. Tyler said my dad almost got arrested. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Ooh, let's see. Salim Melhayat saying, say my name out loud, please. Salim. Rich is saying I had 2 heart attacks. That's enough. Geez, Rich, I'm glad you're all right, brother. I guess that's one of those things, though. You know, if you get the care, it's not as big of a deal, but that can't be easy. That sounds terrifying. Brian's saying restoration shop has been up and down 50 days in a row. 3 people gone, quit or fired. 4 maybe Monday. Only mechanic in there. Head mechanic only. Just like Corvette Mike's then. It was only 3 Corvette. Only all 3 Corvette. Yeah, you know, the restoration shops are really hit or miss, Brian. It's like you got these people that are weird and egotistical. A lot of them aren't as skilled as they say they are. And it's one of those things. Rich is saying, still here. Well, he's glad you are, man. That's badass. Tenacity. Dean saying, he's 89 now and doing okay. If I don't stress him out, he chomps on a Van Hardek cigar. Rich is saying, one at 55, the other at 56. Yeah, Rich, that's not the easiest thing to deal with. I'm glad you're all right, brother. But yeah, guys, I'm going to go ahead and close the stream down. My phone's almost out of battery, and I'm going to go run those errands I was talking about running. Rich is saying, after that, my mother tells me I have heart issues in the family. Could have used that info a little sooner, I guess. But yeah, guys, you have a great Saturday. I'm definitely going to be on tomorrow night after Tony. It'll be late. I'm sorry if it's too late for some of you guys, but I appreciate everybody stopping through. It was a cool stream. It was a fun time. And again, just enjoy your Saturday night. Be safe out there. And above all, make sure to go through the car. Check your fluids. All the fluids. Thanks, everybody. Had a great time. You guys be safe. Check your fluids.